Good afternoon, folks. This is a bit strange. I don't normally do these streams during the day, but I've been wanting to do these sorts of things for a while, and it's not really much of a scheduled thing. It's all going to be a bit flowy. We'll just get on with some stuff, and we'll just do some things, and you guys can come along and you can have a chat and say hello. But first of all, I'd like to give a big Patreon shout out to Tim, Reese and Wayne. Thank you very much. Without you, these shows wouldn't happen at all. So thank you very much. And if you want to become a Patreon, you can see in the chat there's a link to the Patreon feed, and also there's various links in the description for all of my social media and so on and so forth. But yeah, don't forget, if you want to see your models on any of my live shows, like Tim's there, you can send me pictures to any of the social media that are in the links, and let me know what your Instagram handle is, and they'll get put on my Instagram story, and also shown here on the little slide thing there. I don't promise to show everybody's every time, but they tend to get put in a big folder on my channel. In my computer, sorry, and then my computer will just randomly go through them all, so you can pop your see your pictures posted there. Alright, so today what we're going to be doing is I have a shelf that is absolutely covered in various Gene Stealer bits and pieces, so I'll get cracking on with some of those. I'm about to turn on the Discord chat for Patreon, so you guys can hear those people at home, and we'll have a chat there. But other than that, yeah, it's just going to be just me painting away. You guys can have a chat, so thank you very much for joining me. Alright, so let's change the screen into something that's nice and big, and then I will enter the chat on there as well. And then anybody can come along and have a chat while we just generally paint. It's going to be nice and slow. I will get rid of that though. I didn't realise I'd left that on from last night with Reese's Instagram handle there. Every other week you'll find me and Reese on Tuesdays. You saw it. You saw us play last night, which you can't find the video. But there we go. Wargamer Vikings, thank you very much for coming along and saying hello. It's going to be nice and slow and chill, and I'm just going to do some painting. Whoops. I have got loads and loads of Gene Stealer cultists that I need to get rid of. They're on my shelf. They're doing my head in. They're taking a long time to paint, so I need to get through them and get them off of my shelf. So yeah, there's lots of them. I think I picked I don't want him, he's a different colour. Yeah, there's lots here, and we need to get rid of them. We need to work my way through them all and get rid of them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I will also say thank you to everybody who subscribed over the last couple of days. My subscribers have bumped up to just 150 now, which is fantastic, and I'm very grateful to every single one of them. I can't imagine. I've only been doing this for about 5-6 months now, and to be where I am now is absolutely fantastic. Pop some water in there. So, where are we going to start? We'll start with some base coat of Bugman's Glow, I think. So yeah, I'm just going to paint away, do some stuff, all chill. And one of my Patreons may start turning up and start having a chat over on the Discord server, so you guys will hear whatever's going on there. Let's get a decent angle here. fiddling around with my lights after the game last night, when I have to rearrange all the lights in my room to get a decent shot and get it well lit. And then I try and sit down and paint on my table, and it's all different. We'll get there one day. Oh, speaking of the game with Reese, I just found 2 dice that she lost underneath my computer. So, yep, I'll put those 2 on side for her. Right, yes, Gene Stealers. Lots and lots of Gene Stealer cultists that need to be painted. So, let's put that on there. Onto the old palette. If I move, you'll probably be able to see what I'm doing there as well. Water. There's nowhere near enough paint, I don't reckon. But we'll see. Right, let's get ourselves a crappy old brush. Get a handle and just start painting the Gene Stealers here. Get them out of the way. There we are. Right, here we go. Been a while. I haven't actually sat down and done a lot of painting recently. I'm very, very busy, so it'd be nice to finally get some paint on a model. And this show obviously is not going to replace anything that I already have planned. I do have a show tomorrow night on Valentine's Day. So, and I will be starting a brand new project tomorrow on my live show, 6:30. That's not glued. Look at that. Oh man. Whoops. I just snapped it off. Look at that. That's helpful. Should be alright. Leave that to one side. I'm going to glue that thing together. Bit of super glue will be fine on that guy. My neck is still painful. I've had a bad neck for the last couple of days. It's a nightmare. Gloves. Is he wearing gloves? He's wearing gloves. I don't see any of that. Oh, it's just his head. That's cool. Alright, well, if it's just his head, that's fine. Same with most of these guys, I reckon. Just wearing gloves. I just need to make sure I get the heads done. This is one of the other guys starting to mutate, so paint his hands. They are definitely not gloves. I think I need to read some more fluff about Genestealer cultists though, because as far as I'm aware, they hide themselves, right, until it's time to, till the Hive Fleet is nearby, and then they'll strike. But one thing I do know about the Imperium is that abhumans are not acceptable. I'm curious about, you know, these guys that work in a mine and so on. How do they hide the third arm? You know, talking to the foreman or whatever. I'll just go use this mining laser. You need 3 hands to operate that piece of machinery. He's like, no, don't worry about it, I got it. I mean, surely, you know, that dude's got 3 arms. There's something a little fishy about this guy. And the cult would fall apart before it really got started. I don't know. Definitely need to read some more about them so that I can answer questions like that. Hello.
Hey.
It's working.
It is working.
Yeah. And if you're listening to YouTube as well, you hear yourself talk back in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Yeah. Just make sure you're muted on YouTube. If you've muted YouTube, you'll be fine.
Give me a second. And then. Oh, that's not the one. Okay, right.
There we go.
I can see you. You are painting. What are you painting?
I am painting a Gene Steeler, the Acolyte hybrid with a rock saw or thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's quite the siege drill on the Leviathan.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, just in a handheld version.
I want to do a test. So, can you wave at the camera so I can tell what the delay is?
There you go. Well, there will be a little bit delay.
It looks like you're doing things like really fast.
I am kind of just throwing some paint on him at the minute.
Well, I don't know what hit. I've got the speed. There. Are you waving now?
Was that's how long the delay is? That's about 45 seconds, I reckon. Yeah, I've started to move on to a dude with a shotgun now.
What shotgun do you need? Cool, eh?
Yeah.
So,
I broke him.
you broke him!
I broke him. It's fine. I'll put him to one side. I've already broke one of the others with what was it? It's the claw thing. Some sort of weird claw. I have no idea what that is, but I broke that off as well. So yeah, I'll put them to one side and I'll do them another time. It's fine. I've got plenty in front of me to get on with. There is loads of them. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. It was getting a bit quiet. It's gone quiet again. Actually, I need to blow my nose though. That's something I do need to do. Bring up. That sounds lovely, I'm sure. Still working all right. Where's that? There we go. I think we seem to have lost Reese from the voice chat. cracking on here with this base coat of the Bugman's Glow. The idea is I'm trying to get through these guys nice and quickly, nice and simply, pretty much the same way as I do when I'm doing the
Hello?
Hello.
I was on the phone just then, sorry.
Ah, fair enough. I was going to say, it got awfully quiet very, very quickly.
Yeah, Darren phoned me and then, yeah, the
Fair
headphones
enough.
went dead.
Fair enough. As you notice, actually, you may notice just in the corner, well, in 45 seconds you'll realise where I'm painting. I found the 2 dice that you missed from our live game last night. So,
Yeah, I can see them.
they're off to the side
Yay.
there. And Underdog Painting, thank you very much for joining us on our just chill session today. I'm just painting away.
Chill and chat.
Pretty much. Just throwing some paint down on these guys, trying to get them done.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this lieutenant finished.
Which lieutenant was that?
It's the from that book set, Wake the Dead.
Ah, yeah.
This is day 3 on this guy.
I think this is month number 3 for trying to get this shelf empty of this commission.
Yeah, you've had it for a while. It is a lot of things to do though, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And Underdog's just uploaded the video for his cult. I'll have to go and have a look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna skedaddle. I just wanted to see how this works and everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, catch you later.
Alright, catch you later, Reese. Bye. Yeah, I'll have to check that video out, Underdog goes. I don't think I can watch it while I'm doing this though. That'll be a bit weird. I don't think my speakers would allow it actually. I'd end up feeding back through. You really don't know why you didn't do this army before. It's a lot of work to this army though. I kind of like them. I mean, my first foray into Gene Stealer cults was the Kill Team box. I still haven't finished painting those guys. Got plenty of them. This was for a commission that come through. And I mean, I enjoyed doing the aberrants. I've got so many aberrants that he wanted me to do up here. They were kind of fun to do. But on the whole, they were a lot of work. So, I don't know. I think I'm reserving judgment for these guys. Maybe if I buy myself some and just paint them how I want them and see if I can have some fun with them. But they're certainly taking some time to get through at the minute. I'm currently following a process though. I'm going to be painting from basically from the inside out for these guys. So I'll start at the skin, then I'll do the underclothes and just gradually build up on top of each other, and hopefully that'll be a good way to to get these guys painted without making too many mistakes and getting too frustrated with having to redo any of the painting. I think what I will do though is, I mean, I'm doing the skin on all of them now, because most of it's just throw some base coat down, throw a bit of a wash, and then a dry brush over the top. I think as I start getting higher and higher up on the models, I'm going to break it down into much smaller units. So you see, I'll keep switching from the on the painting handle, which is really great for this handle. That's why I do like this handle. But I think once I get to start needing to do sort of armor and things like that, I might break it down into sort of groups of 5 and then just load them all up onto 5 handles. It might be helpful. I have no idea what's going on here, so I'll just paint it now, and then if needs be I'll paint over it later. There's a whole lot of detail going on there. No idea what's going on. Actually, I know what I have been missing. Actually, is I need to do the need to do all of their mutated arms as well, so that I can get the. I missed this one as well. You get all the bits in between their armor plates. Yeah, that was definitely not a glove he's got going on there. You like the voice chat for patrons, Reese? Yeah, it's kind of handy. It'll take a bit of getting used to with obviously, you know, you get voice immediately, but but then your visuals are delayed a bit. But it certainly adds a little bit of something. You're definitely getting your money's worth. Make sure I got all of these bits in between the armor plates, all those hidden little whatever they are, with all the pink poking through. Do some more of that. And the voice chat will be active on the live show tomorrow night as well. You get to, while I'm doing the new model. Admittedly, it's Valentine's Day, so some of you might not be around, which is fine. I didn't realise it was Valentine's Day until it was pointed out to me yesterday. There's not really anything to worry about on that one. And that's fine. We'll get into the shoulder, into the elbow there. There we are. Right. what I really like about the voice chat as well is, as I was saying, is it's very quiet at my end right now. You know, obviously, you know, you guys can hear when I'm not talking. You can hear the creaking of my table every time I shift my weight. But you know, from your end, you guys, you can put some music on and you can do whatever you want while you're listening to me drone on about whatever it is I'm droning on about at the time. But this end is very quiet. Yeah, there's no noise at this end. So of course, when I'm doing these live streams, especially for today, when I'm going to be here until around about 3 o'clock, I reckon, or shortly before, whatever happens, depending on if I have to stop because of waiting for paint to dry or whatever. You know, it's very quiet, and if there's not much going on in the chat, which is, you know, fair enough, it's just me and my paintbrush sliding across a model. It can get quite quiet, very boring, quite lonely. Where normally I'd be putting on YouTube and I'll watch some YouTube videos or whatever, but so yeah, the voice chat as well, it helps with breaking up some of that. Especially considering, you know, if you've got questions to ask and stuff, you can actually, you know, come out and say it rather than having to type it. Then I haven't got to read the screen and have a look at that and so on. So it does make also getting your questions asked much easier. For the lowly price of $1 a month, which is pretty cool. Kind of like that. And then for higher tiers, of course, you can even I even hang around after some of my live streams, like tomorrow night, and I'll finish the live stream and then I'll hang around for a little bit longer over on the Discord. Speaking of which, I could do that. Which is the public Discord server. One day I'll set those up to go automatic as well for every 20 minutes, half an hour or so. What kind of colour would you say Bugman's Glow is? It kind of looks like a brown, but it's really kind of pink, kind of brown, kind of terracotta. I wonder. I don't know what sort of colour to say that is. I mean, it doesn't look quite right on the screen there, actually. Oh, ow, my neck. Oh, we'll get some wash on those in just a moment. I tell you what I will do though, is I think it's time for an Instagram post. Why not? If I could unlock my phone, which is not unlocking. Ah, there we go. An Instagram post I think is time for. And I'll take a photo of these guys here. I think it's time for a YouTube. There we go. A bit of a Instagram post. Might even pop a post on Twitter shortly. Oh, I do need to top up my drink though. So I am kind of sat here with a dry throat. So I need to thin down a little bit of Drucci Violet now, I think, to get my to get these guys nice and shaded without being too shaded. Something like a couple of brush worths of that. And grab the Drucci Violet. And grab a couple of brushfuls of that. There we go. Oh, that's loose as well. Oh, look at that. That broke off as well. Right. Put him to one side. We'll do him another time. I'm not going to be fiddling around fixing models. Not when I've got so much to do. So I'm fairly liberal with this. It's nice and thin down, so it's not going to be quite as deep dark purple as what Drucci Violet usually is. It'll be quite a light shade. I don't know, maybe a bit of a lilac-y kind of colour. Don't forget to throw down some questions on the Ask Me Anything video that I did for January. The last Friday of the month, I believe, is next Friday, which means that will be when I will premiere my next Ask Me Anything for February. We'll also do some hobby updates and so on and so forth. So don't forget to drop some questions down for that. We'll get around to doing that. Getting that video made at some point next week. Hopefully I'll be feeling better this month. feeling terrible last time I tried doing that. And I've done like one model and I've run out of wash. This is going to be interesting. Come on, drop that in there. Lots of, yes, let's do an extra one. There we go. Right, let's really fill this up. Drucci violet. Do an extra dollop of right, there we go. That is a nice big bottle of nice big well of Lamy and Drucci violet in there. Now, rather than rinsing this brush off though, I'll see if I can use what I've got on here. So let's save wastage. I think one of the things though is that I think I'm actually taking some of the paint off of the model when I do that. I'm not sure if the Bugman's Glow is 100% dry yet, so I think I'm taking some of that off. But once I hit it with the dry brush after the violet's dry, it should be alright. Be careful not to rub quite so hard with the wash. Should help. So, start adding wash to these guys. You see how this can get really boring, especially when you've got a lot of models to get done. Just sitting there. So let's find ways of trying to make sure that it's done as quick as you can without losing quality. So what I try and do. Get rid of that puddle. looks like I've done a better job of guessing of violet, how much violet I needed this time. Probably done too much this time, but you know, we'll see. So take a quick picky of what we're doing. More flashy, she says. Alright. Let's get a more flashy picture. Throw some wash on these guys and then while I'm waiting for the wash to dry, I'll have a look at some of these models that I've broken somehow by starting to do what we're doing here. It's going to need a bigger brush, I think, because this guy's bigger. It's got lots to do. Come on, just throw some wash down on this guy. It's just thinner as well, we don't need to worry too much about pooling. It's not actually going to settle that thick. It isn't that thick. Although yes, this brush does wipe out all of the wash that was on the palette. Soak up some of that again, and it's dribbling down. Just used so much of it. It's a very wet brush as well, so there's a huge amount of a lot of water on there. Leave that for now. I'll probably come back to him in a minute. I missed one of the guys in the middle. There we go. And I've run out of wash. Alright, so let's take that flashy picture. What's a flashy picture look like? Hey? I have no idea. Right, let's add some Lime and medium. More lime and medium. There we are. And some Drucci Violet. What's my tag? What is my YouTube channel? Let's have a look. Let's have a gander here a minute, because I can't remember basically my YouTube channel. I think you can use it just by typing in youtube.com/basis of base of operations painting studio. There we go. Yeah, that's how that works. Good to know. Let me turn my light on. Right, with that being done, let's carry on here. I said I wouldn't normally stop like that in any of my other live shows and do that sort of stuff, but these shows during the day, they'll always be a bit more loosey-goosey. And who have we got joined on the voice chat there?
Hi, Max, mate.
Hello, Wayne. Welcome to the show.
Just thought I'd quickly pop in. You just asked just on your lunch break. I want to quickly pop in and sort of... So
Say
this is a reply, are you?
Pardon? I'm streaming just a painting session. I'm just sat here just doing some painting and threw the cameras on.
Oh, you're on live? Oh, you're on the YouTube live? Oh.
Yeah, you'll find me on the YouTube as well. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the internet can hear you too. So everybody, this is Wayne. Yeah, this is Wayne, and I keep an eye on the YouTube chat when he's sat at his tablet while I'm live usually.
Laptop, yeah. Whichever one it is, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just sitting here, just painting some Gene Steeler cultists. Trying to get them off my shelf because
Is that the commission work you're talking about?
yeah, the commission stuff is in the way.
Yeah.
Get this off out, done and dusted and out the door, and then I can then focus on more content.
That's the plan. Well, how's it sounding now? Because I can't see, I'm going to just quickly click onto YouTube and let's see what you're up to. But
Well, you sound alright, yeah.
yeah. But you thought that's not to you. I'm not sort of sound alright, do I?
To me, you sound alright, yeah. I mean, I can't hear the internet, so unless somebody wants to say hello or comment about how it sounds over on YouTube, but as far as I'm aware, it sounds perfectly fine.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm literally starting at work, and I can hear you listening to you via, obviously the speed, well, when you listen to on your phone, when you normally use your mobile phone.
Oh, right.
It's actually clear, so
Lovely.
this Discord stuff is nice and clear.
The Discord is fantastic, so
yeah, it's all good, yeah. Oh, I'll pop off there, but I'm going to forget actually going to sit and watch the one of these.
Yep.
When I hold my phone up, I can't even do more wrong at the moment.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Go on and enjoy your food, and yeah, I'll talk to you in the chat maybe.
On YouTube, mate.
They're up. Right, let's move the broken ones out of the way because there's no point in doing those just yet. We're just going to wait for some for this wash to dry. Like I said, it's not particularly not a very thick wash. I don't want the Gene Stealers have got this purple hue to them, and I don't fancy really thick and don't want a really deep purple going on. We can get that little gentle purple hue by using that thin down Drucci Violet, which is lovely. I've got Reese popping me out on the interwebs on Instagram and all that jazz, which is very nice of her. So there's no big deal about sharing these streams, but feel free to like and share whatever you do if you like anything that I do, and giving me comments about how I'm doing. Whoops. And then what I can do actually is I also have, we're waiting for that Drucci Violet to dry. And like I said, there's no real plan to these shows that are on during the day, my Thursday shows and my Monday shows. They have a plan, they have specific themes to them. But these daytime things are going to be just random, whatever happens. So I do have these two pyrovores. I think these are pyrovores, aren't they? They need doing as well. So I can get started on these guys while I'm waiting for other things to dry. And if I remember what paint I needed to paint these guys, I'll be able to get on with them. What paint was it? Screaming Skull? You Shabby Bone? Something like that. Which one was it? Rackar Flesh. That's the new ones from Conquest. I actually need to put those away with my spare bottles of paint. Hang on, what have we got up here? That's Flayed One Flesh. It's not that one. I've got to find me bottles of paint. Pallid Witch. No, it's not Pallid Witch, is it? It must be Screaming Skull. Yeah, we'll do Screaming Skull later. Give it a shake. There we are, look at that. Oh, right, pop some of this on my palette. Get these bad boys coated up as well. Put that on there. Yeah. We need a reasonable amount. I also have a lictor up here as well that could be done. Because that's using the same paint scheme. If I can find my nice big XL painting handle, which I did a giveaway for one of these on when I reached 100 subscribers, and we have reached 150 over this weekend. So what I'm thinking is after the next 100 subscribers, when we reach 250, I'm going to do another giveaway, I think. So make sure you share the channel and get all those subscribers coming in. Is that level? Yeah. So here we go. So some Screaming Skull as a layer paint here, and using it as a base paint. And I just completely coat this entire model with this. A bit of a, what was that coming through on my phone? Ah, that was Reese giving me a shout out on her Instagram story. Now the Screaming Skull is a layer paint, so it's not very, it doesn't work fantastically well as a base coat. So I'm definitely going to have to go across this a couple of times, I reckon, just to make sure that it gives us a nice foundation to work on. I'm using a very large brush to do it as well. I think I'm actually flicking some paint around, so I need to be careful about that. This brush does seem to soak up an awful lot of paint. I wonder how much paint is actually stuck in the brush and not actually making it on the model. I almost can't see it, it's so white. Kind of bleaches out on the camera. What was I using? Screaming Skull. There we go. Get plenty of paint onto the palette there, because I'm going to need a lot of it. It's such a wet brush. I don't really need to worry about thinning the paint, because as soon as the brush picks it up it starts thinning it down, because how much water this brush holds. So I am still using thin paint, I'm just not thinning it in the on the palette, I'm thinning it with the brush itself. Oops, and there goes the tail, which is brilliant, that's what I wanted. Sarcasm. Yeah, so we're gonna have to fix that at some point. These models, these are more fine cast models from Games Workshop. They're absolutely terrible, horrible models to build. They do not like being built. Leg painted down the back here. The brush couldn't reach, or the big one couldn't reach all the way through here. It's one of the downsides of painting a built model, is you can't necessarily get to all of it very easily. But it is a lot quicker. You only paint what you can see. I might need another coat as yet, but we'll leave that for now. That blasted tail, which I'll sort out at a later date. I wonder if we'll have the same problem with the tail on this guy. There's only one way to find out. Let's have a look. Let's get painting. So far so good. Lovely, that came out much better than the other one. Let's grab my smaller brush to get into those details that I couldn't get to with the big one. Yeah. It's come out really nicely. It's 25 to 2 already. Time is going by really nicely now. So like I said, I plan on being here somewhere in the region of around about 3 o'clock. Maybe a little bit before that. I need some more Screaming Skull. That actually doesn't fit on that one, that needs to be on one of these. massive, great big lictor, I believe. Again, this is more commission work. Well, I think I need one of these for Kill Team. I think I can use these in Kill Team. So I might grab, whoops, one of these for myself in the future. And we'll probably do my own separate how to paint video where I use my Tyranid colours, which are more urban, evolved kind of Tyranid kind of look, but with a bit of a Kill Team orange flair. Some of you may have already seen the Gene Stealers I've already done. So let's throw some paint down on this guy. See how this guy goes along. These Tyranids for this commission, they're in more of a it's kind of a slightly modified Leviathan kind of scheme, which I kind of like. I like these guys. It's nice and simple. But the problem with it is their resin, and the resin is horrible. I do not like resin Tyranid models. So resin Space Marine models I've done in the past, and you know there are a few issues, but on the whole they're alright. But resin Tyranids, awful, god awful things. Very difficult build, certainly in my opinion anyway. Always make sure all of the skin is covered. Carapace will be doing another time. I'll pick that out afterwards. Just making sure. I think I've got a really decent coat of on this one actually. So it's all nice and done. Oh. This tail, look at this tail. Do this tail again like this. We'll get it glued on I'll get it glued on at another time. I'll do this after the show, I reckon. Get the tail glued on. Don't need to use a holder for everything. There we go. Second coat isn't as important as the first one. We do need to make sure we got a nice even coat. I've always found I don't mind taking the second coat as a rush job, because it kind of helps with adding a little bit of variation. You know, nothing is a perfect colour, so if you've got a little bit of, especially if you're doing things like skin, if you've got the first coat down and it's a little bit patchy, of course, you take the second coat down, but you don't necessarily worry about making sure you've got an absolute perfectly smooth coat, and that way your top coat, it will be smooth, you know, because obviously you don't want to have brush marks and that sort of stuff in it, but it won't give you that absolute perfect 100% the same colour right the way across the entire model. And that way it will try to help with some sort of that realism of, you know, skin not being exactly the same colour as you go right the way along a model, or along a person. You know, skin isn't exactly the same colour all the way along in a completely uniform way, and that's I like doing that. I like adding that little bit of realism to the models. I mean, my painting style is very loose anyway. I don't, you know, I'm not particularly rigid on, you know, colours and how I paint, so it adds a little bit of fluidity to it anyway. Oh. And I see those jeans through the coat still are a little bit damp, so we can't get onto dry brushing those just yet. But we can leave the turn this to dry for a minute. What I can do actually is bring in something else that I've got to paint as well. So I'm doing all sorts of different things. We have this dystopian war things. Finish your painting. Thank you very much for joining me. How are you doing? Where's my Mechanica Standard Grey? It's here. Doing lots of base coating today. Base coating everything. I might even have some spray boot stuff that I need to do in a bit, because I'll run out of everything else to base coat while I'm waiting for everything else to dry. So we'll throw a base coat down at this. This is a Dystopian Wars model. The game itself is out of print now, I believe. The original company that made it went bust. It has been bought out, so apparently there has been people talking about getting it brought back. I think there are some things available, or the company is building new stuff. It's a very kind of steampunk futuristic game. Never played it. I've absolutely no idea how to play it, but the minis are fun. I've done some of these boats in the past. You'll see on I think my Facebook page I've got some pictures of some boats that I've done. I think I've actually got a bunch of pictures that I did last year that actually have never been uploaded yet. Need to get on with doing that at some point. Not too bad, mate. Just chilling out with the baby today, contemplating what to buy for my Genestealer Cult Army and Imperial Guard Army. I tell you what, with the Genestealer Cults now out, everybody's doing Genestealer Cults, I think. I do like some of those new models, actually. Those, I think they were released the other week, or is it this week, where the, some of the vehicles, the bikes, they do look some really nice, and they've broken up the Tooth and Claw box set, haven't they, where you can buy the aberrants now separately. Which are definitely going to be added to my Genestealer Cult kill team at some point. I do like those bikes. With the Imperial Guard and stuff and the Genestealers, there's lots of opportunity for kit bashing there, isn't there? I wouldn't mind having a look. Got lots of plans for the future. In terms of doing things like that, it might be nice to build a the Genestealers I've got came with the kill team box set, and so they're not very optimized, but it might be worth. I might have a look at the Genestealer Cult boxes and the Imperial Guard stuff, and then see if I can actually kit bash both an Imperial Guard and a Genestealer Cult army. 4 kill teams specifically. Might be kind of nice. You've always liked the concept of them, but with the new characters they look sick. There's never enough money or time to do everything. You do end up having to choose one or the other. In fact, the Genestealer cultists that I have in front of me are still drying from their wash, and I've just gotten around finishing the base coat of that thing. I've got nothing else primed waiting to go, so we'll see if the base coat on these Tyranids are done, and we might be able to throw some wash down on those guys. I don't want to end the stream like now, because I want to stick around until about 3 o'clock, but we'll have to see how it goes. Oh, excuse me. I might have to. We could possibly open up a window, or I do have. Let's have a look here. If we have a look at the camera that is way over here, it's was pointing down at the game last night. If I fiddle with this a little bit, I might be able to point it in the general direction of the spray booth. There we go. So we might be able to do something like that. It's a bit wobbly because it's dangling from the ceiling. But we might be able to have a look at some painting that I've got going on over here. I'll have to bring my phone over so that I can see what we're chatting about. Have a window, make sure I've got the door closed, and move the game table out of the way. YouTube on my phone. Let's move the game table. Whee! Here we go, like that. Shut this door. Oh yeah. Now normally I turn on the fan, but if I do that, nobody's going to be able to hear me. So I will leave it as it is. But I have opened a window. And we'll start shaking this can. But while I do that, let's just bring the camera over here for now and let y'all have a look at some of your nice looking models that we've got over here while I shake up this can. So is Chip Paints your missus? No, she's not. She's a very good friend of mine, gaming buddy. We'll hang around. We hang around painting, playing games and stuff like that. So my missus isn't in the hobby. She's not into it. I'll give this rattle can a good shake. It's brand new from the from B&M. Let's turn down the mic for just a second. Oh, let's have a read what you've written here. Sorry for my assumption. My missus ain't into the hobby either. No, that's alright. There's no assumption, no apologies needed. There we are. Right. That should be alright. She is indeed a fantastic. She's a fantastic painter. She does an amazing job. Pretty much everything that she decides to try and do. Yeah, all of her painting is brilliant. Right, let's mute that so I can keep an eye on the chat. And hopefully you guys will still be able to hear me when I move over here. While I pick up the I'll finally change the camera angle as well to be something like that. Grab the box of stuff that needs painting. Yeah. He sent me some stuff that he's already painted. I don't know if he's already done that one or not. Yeah, it looks like he started doing that. I don't know if that's... We'll leave that for now. But we do have some things in here that are definitely not painted and need doing. So these resin boats from Dystopian Wars, they're really nice, and actually they don't have sort of mold release on them or anything, so they're really nice. I don't know if he's already the client could have already cleaned them off for me so that I didn't need to. Either way, that one needs a bit of a clean up, so we'll do that in a second. And they come in lots of little bits and pieces that all need spraying. So we get those done. Spread them out onto the odd turntable here. You can really see that very well. I wonder if I turn that off, you might be able to see a little bit better what it is I'm doing. Grab my hobby knife as well. Right mate, gotta go, just wanted to pop by and say hi. Well, thank you very much. Need to go to the tip. That's fair enough. Peninsula Payton, thank you very much for dropping by. It's had a few people come and go today, which is fantastic. It's nice that you come and say hello while I do this thing. You might start seeing me do this sort of thing more regularly. I do plan to do these sorts of things more regularly. There wouldn't necessarily be any kind of schedule to doing it, because generally I don't have the time to be able to spend sat in front of a stream. I kind of come and go as I need to. I'm just having a look at these things at the minute. There is a little bit of flashing on these. These are really finely, they are pretty finely detailed. You can see all the rivets on the boats. I know you guys can't see that on the stream, but there is lots of detail to these things, and which is really nice. All the rivets and the deck plating and stuff, but there is a little bit of flashing that we just need to get rid of, just make sure that there's no sticking out, otherwise that will look dreadful. Just slide the knife along there, just cutting all the extra bits and pieces off. It's a fantastic submarine. I don't know if you can see that. It's a brilliant looking model. I love these things. But I'll get this quickly spray painted. Actually, I can do this as well. This one's got some bits on there, just some sticky bits. I'll cut those off and then just clean up the extra bits there. There's some bubbles in these ones, but they're all right. I'm going to leave that for now, actually. I'm going to do those later. Just going to give these guys a bit of a spray. There we are, something like this. Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do, so I'm going to turn this fan on. Hopefully you're still going to be able to hear me. It's not going to be too loud. I would like to know what people think about whether you can hear what I'm doing or not. I'm not going to know until I watch the stream back later. So there we go, lots of projects on the go all at the same time here. We let that run for just a few minutes to clear the filter out of the way. I just remembered I forgot to turn this back up when I was finished talking earlier. I'll finish shaking the can, but come back over here for the time being. There we go. Let's close that down. We don't need to see that one for the time being. There we are. I have a couple of people watching still, so feel free to say hello if you wish. And have a look at these things. This could do with another coat of the grey on here. These things don't get washed until like they're all finished. The wash is actually the very final step for these things. So the boats don't actually take that long. Once I've done this, I'll probably do a bit of do the details on these things. I might wait until I do the details on this until I've done the rest of the boat's base coats, just generally because I can do all of the boats at the same time, which is nice. Just that this one was ready for a base coat, so we may as well got one. Where's my Mechanica Standard Grey gone? Over here. So there we go, let's just bring this into here, like so. Has this moved? I feel like that's moved. There we go. See what I'm doing now. Which of course is mostly just slapping grey all over this model. So if you haven't already don't forget to subscribe and make sure you press the bell button next to the subscribe button, because I plan on doing much more of this kind of impromptu streaming. Of course, you know, my regular shows remain regular. But I want to start doing this more often, so I'll pop up and say hello to you guys, and you guys can come along and ask me questions and see if there's anything that you want to see how I do things or that sort of thing. That's what these shows are for. It's much more fluid than the scheduled live streams that have a definite theme running through them. Lovely, just like that. There we go, that's a nice base coat on here. And I think that fan's been running long enough, so I'll turn that off now. There we are, just get rid of any of the overspray, and it helps clear the smell out as well. It's not so much of a fume extractor, the old fan that I have over there, just one of the things from eBay. I mean, some of you, if you look for a, I headbutted it, but if you have a look on eBay for one of those, you see them for about 50 quid. They're all over the place. It's just a small airbrush extractor fan, and they're not particularly a fume extractor. They don't, they're not they won't get rid of all of the fumes in the air, but it certainly helps because it helps with the airflow, especially if it's vented outside, and it helps get rid of the smell before the end of. It just helps get rid of some of the smell, just because the airflow is moving in the right direction. So what I want to do now is I'm just having a look at the paint here. It looks like we're almost dry on the Screaming Skull, which is fantastic because that means I can get on with doing a wash on those guys. The Gene Stealers still don't have a dry wash on those yet. I didn't expect them to, and there's why I'm not too fussed about this show being a bit slow, or perhaps not necessarily fantastically, fluid. This is why, if you want it to become, if you want me to have a look at anything in particular, or you want me to see something, send me messages or so on, or become a Patreon. You do all that sort of stuff. If you do it during this show, you'll probably get shouted out for it as well. It's like, thank you very much. But yeah, you can ask questions and see how I do things and just generate. But I think most of us know that, the best intentions of having a fluid kind of getting everything done in a most productive way, you always end up having to wait for things to dry. no matter, unless you've got, you know, a ridiculous amount of stuff on the go at the same time all the time, which, you know, I do have things that I can start building now, because I'm waiting for paint to dry, I'll start building, and I could fill out the but then you end up getting overrun by stuff. So we may have to wait for those to dry just a little bit, which is fine. I don't mind that. You guys can come along and have a chat. What have I done with? I've lost something now. Well, I found my sunglasses. Oh, that's where it is. So, who do I still have in the video then? Who do we have here? What have I done? Right, so okay, so what I'm going to do is grab my Caribou Crimson and just grab these and just gradually add a little bit. This is straight from the pot, so it's much darker. This will be really pink when this dries. And then we just gradually build this up. I am still using a really wet brush, so it will be thinner than usually. But I just gradually add this stuff to the model, avoiding puddles on this one, of course. The thinner wash on the Gene Stealer Colts isn't so much of an issue, but on this, because it's such a concentrated wash, I do need to avoid those puddles where I can. And I tell you what, I have forgotten to move that round again. It would be nice if I could figure out a way to get that to do that automatically whenever I do anything, but I'll have to see if I can fiddle around with various editing techniques. Bring that up here. So yeah, we just add the Caribou Crimson wash. I'm running out of this stuff actually, so I need to be careful when it starts getting less and less full. That's when it starts threatening to tip over. I don't tend to tip many washes over there, so that was typical. There we go. I don't tend to tip them over very often. I certainly don't feel tip full ones over. That was perfect timing, that was brilliant. some wash in all of the nooks and crannies here. Anyway, you can see. Make sure we got it washed. Just like a certain Mr. Cooper would say, just like that. Like I said, I'll reattach this when I've got some time after the stream, before doing the dry brush of these guys. Now, obviously, you won't necessarily get. I mean, when I end the stream, you won't necessarily get to see everything I do. I do some stuff away from the camera, and sometimes the house is a bit noisy, so I don't get to do these sorts of things on camera as much as I would like. Working my way along this guy, get a nice even coat of this caribou crumbs in there. This will just help me get all of those lovely pink spots all over the model. And then the next step for this guy will be to start doing the carapace and the other fleshy bits. They're not white. It's nice sometimes to do this large area of wash as well, especially with your, once you've primed it, if you're doing a singular base coat as well. This first layer of wash just lets you see exactly where all those different details are. You know, when it's all one color, it's difficult to see the detail, difficult to see what's what. But once you get this first layer of wash down, you can really see. And I managed to put a drop of paint on the on that boat there. You see, this is the downside of doing so much in one go. I'm gonna have to go back over that boat and just give it another quick wash, another quick coat of grey, just cover up that wash that I spilt on it. Big dollop of red just there. You might be able to just rinse that off actually. I might be able to just, because the wash, that's going to get painted blue. You might just be able to just get some more, just get some water there. Just rinse it off. And what you could do, because water is perfectly fine, I can just rinse that off there. Actually, there we go. Rinse that there. And just grab some kitchen roll there. Lovely. There we are. Yeah, there we go. The kitchen roll's soaking wet anyway. When that dries, I wouldn't even know that I did it. Now you watch me put another drop on it now that I've done that. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. It's really nice being able to see all of the colours and the details start to come out once you've got this first layer of wash down, and you then go over it. So I'll be dry brushing it, and it really starts, you really start appreciating where the detail of the model is. I'm adding all this pink, I'm adding all this red to turn obviously all the shadows pink, because mostly, yeah, the Screaming Skull is like an off-white. Adding red to white obviously makes it pink, and yeah, well, I'll dry brush over all of this when this wash is dry, and I'll be able to see all of the skin details pop out. And then once I start adding the contrast of the black carapace to it, you really start seeing it all coming together. That's what I like about the way that I paint, this style of painting that I do, which is much more, you know, there's less rigidity to it. There's no, you know, I'll do one colour and then I'll do another colour and then I'll edge highlight it and I'll do this. I don't do much of that. Most of what I do is all just really rush. Well, not rush, but it's really kind of fluid, and alright, I'll throw some paint down, I'll get some wash on there, and I'll dry brush some of those highlights out. And I'll do 2 or 3 highlights if I need to, you know, by dry brushing it. You can blend, you can get a really nice blend of colours with that, and no wet blending needed. But you can really appreciate some of the blends you can get just by dry brushing and washing and layering up different colours of wash. So there we go. Alright. Well, I think, to be honest with you, I've done some base coating and washing on Tyranids, on Gene Stealers. I've started base coating this this that I ended up getting a blodge of wash on it, so we'll wait for that to dry as well. Base coated and washed the Tyranids as well, so you start seeing all of those details come through. And I even managed to prime some more Dystopian War stuff in that back corner there, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really glad I did that. And during the show I've had a couple of followers on Instagram, so I do thank you very much for all of that. It's been fantastic. I've had a few of you pop in during the show. We've had Reese and Wayne pop in on the Discord chat, so thank you too for that, coming along and having a chat. And Underdog Painting and Peninsula Painting Projects, thank you very much for joining me as well, popping into the chat and sitting with me as I do this. I think I'm going to end the show. I mean, it's 2:20. It's not quite the 3 o'clock that I hoped, but I think, to be honest with you, most of the time that is going to happen would be, most of what will happen now will be a case of waiting for paint to dry. And that's unfortunately the primer stuff. We'll have to wait until tomorrow before I get on with painting any of that. And yeah, and then there's some dry brushing to be done and that stuff. So I'm going to end the stream here, but thank you very much for everything, for joining me tonight, this afternoon even. I'm going to get a few bits and pieces done off camera now around the studio and so on. So thank you very much. Don't forget all of the links for my description. No, let me try that one again. All of my social media links are in the description, where you, and also you could use the keyword in the chat while I'm live. You'll find my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and the public Discord all down in the description below. And obviously you can find the Patreon link there if you want to help support the channel from as little as $1 a month, where you can join the bases of operations, Patreon, Discord, and Facebook group, and Facebook chat as well. Excuse me. So yeah, it's thank you very much for joining me. All right, and if you're watching this in the future, then thank you very much for coming along and watching this as well. It's all pleasurable, and don't forget to leave a comment if you've got anything to say. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow evening for sure with my usual Thursday evening painting project, and you may see me during the day some other time. So, but for now, I will say thank you for watching this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, Dara.